All right, week 5, day 3, Wednesday. All right, normally this would have been our first spelling test of the week, right? And our retakes would have been on Friday, but we do one spelling test now, that's on Friday, so make sure you're studying every day and practicing your spelling words. Here we go. Today we do spell work, science, and then cursive and reading. Jack Sparrow. Okay. All right. Can you climb the hill? All right. The sentence is already capitalized. That's good. So can is already capitalized. No mistake there. All right. But the Y is capitalized. Needs to be lowercase. Y-O-U. Climb needs to be spelled C-L-I-M-B. The is okay. And hill is okay. But we need to always end that. You always end it with a period, exclamation point, or a question mark, right? And this is asking a question, so we need to put a question mark. All right. All right, here we go. Cursive. So C-A-N. Can you climb the hill? Alright. Make sure you're practicing your spelling words, writing them down every day. Use your best penmanship. Alright, on to the math. Alright, 900 plus 328. So 8, 2, 12. Make sure you put that little comma. Alright, 1,228. 10. 920. Hey, 900 minus 328. Gotta go way over 9 borrow. 8, 9. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 2, 7. And 8 minus 3 is 5. 572. Right? Borrow from 8. 8 becomes 7. 4 becomes 14. 14 minus 6, 8. 7 minus 3, 4. 7 minus 1 is 6. 648. 67 times 5. All right. Old school and new school. 7 times 5, 35. Carry the 3. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 3 is 33. New school. 5 times 60 is 300. 7 times 5 is 35. 5, 3, 3. 335. 9 times 3, 27, carry 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 3 times 40 is 120. 9 times 3 is 27. 7, 4, 1, 147. We match up so we know we have it right. Alright, 2 times 8, 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 1, 25. 8 times 30 is 240. 2 times 8 is 16. 6, 5, 2, 256. 6 times 9, 54, carry 5. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 5 is 14. 9 times 10 is 90. 9 times 6 is 54. That gives us 144. 5 times 5 is 25, carry 2. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12, 125. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 5 is 25. 125. Alright. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. Work it backwards. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. And 2 times 5 is 10. Alright. Tomorrow's Bible word will be week 5, day 4. I know the end. Right. Go ahead and get your science out. I'm going to check my camera while you get that out. Make sure it's still recording. Alright, we're good to go. Alright. We are on week 5, day 3. Why do dandelions turn white and fluffy? All right. So the vocabulary word Let me expand this out a little bit. Is distribute, which means to scatter about. Distribute. All right. So let's go over the questions before we go over the reading. It's a good habit to get into. Question says, look at the dandelion flowers below. Where do you think the seeds are? Circle and label them. So do you think the seeds are down here, here? Do you think they're here, here? Use the words in the box to complete the sentences. Distribute, which we said was to scatter, right? Flower and seed. And the questions read, a blank can grow into a new plant. Dandelions use the wind to blank their seeds. A dandelion blank produces seeds. All right, I'm going to do the reading. You follow along. See if you can find the answers to some of these questions. All right. In spring, yellow-headed dandelions seem to pop up everywhere. We're probably seeing that out in our yards, right? I know I get a lot of them. I have more yellow than I have green. Along roadsides and the cracks of sidewalks and on grassy lawns. Where do the dandelions come from? We know that new plants grow from seeds. But how did the dandelion seeds get to all these different places? If you have ever blown on a dandelion after the flower has turned white and fluffy, you can guess how the wind helps dandelions distribute their seeds. So if you want to do a little hands-on, go out to your yard. I bet you can find a little white dandelion, blow on it, see what happens. And here's kind of a picture of what happens, okay? You decide what part do you think is the seed. Now remember, a flower wants its seeds to go elsewhere so it can grow in different places. So do you think the seeds are going to be in the leaves? Do you think they're going to be in the stem? Do you think the seeds are going to be in the ground? Do you think the seeds might be in part of the white fluffy part that flies away? All right, you decide. If you have to, you can use some Google researching on the internet. Go outside and blow on a dandelion and come up with an idea of how you think seeds are dispersed or distributed, vocabulary word, from the plant to other places. All right, so do your best to answer these questions. All right, on the flip side, you want to pause the video and do the work on the front side, and then restart the video and follow along on the second side. That's up to you. Right now, we're going to go on the second side. You have control of the video, remember. You can go back, pause, whatever you want. All right, vocabulary, conditions. Conditions are things that are needed before something else can happen, okay? Like you need to watch this video first before you know what I'm talking about. You might be able to do some of it on your own, but some of it you probably need some extra help. So a condition is you'll watch the video before you can do the work. Parachute. It's a part of a dandelion that causes the seed to float in the air. So here's a picture of a parachute. I didn't even know it's called parachute, but the part of the dandelion that flies off is called the parachute. All right, let's review the questions. All right, use the vocabulary words to complete each sentence. So we have parachute, seed, okay? A dandelion can travel away from its parent plant because it has a blank. A seed will only grow where the blank are just right. Okay? Okay, so when they talk about vocabulary words, they're talking about these up here. Parachute and conditions. Okay? Not parachute and seed. Okay, so parachute and condition are the two words you would use here. You got to decide which one goes where based off the reading. We'll do that in a second. All right, part B, write true or false in the blank. Parachutes can grow into new dandelions, true or false. Number 2, a child blowing on a dandelion is helping the dandelion distribute its seeds, true or false. In part C, do you think dandelions would grow closer together or farther apart in places that have a lot of wind. Why? So do you think so in a place that's really windy, do you think the dandelions would all fall in one place and grow in a big batch? Or do you think they would just be distributed all around the yard in a very windy place? You know, write down your answer, use a complete sentence. Don't just give me one word answer like yes or no. You gotta say why. Capitalization, proper ending. All right, here we go. The reading. Every dandelion seed is attached to a fine white hair called a parachute. The parachute catches the wind and carries the seed through the air. This way, seeds can travel to new places where they can grow. However, a dandelion seed won't grow until it finds the right conditions. It needs soil, sunlight, and water. Probably needs the right temperature too. They don't throw that in there. It's not going to grow in freezing weather, right? So, anyways, you have the reading, you have the answers. All you need is in the reading here. Go ahead and do it. If you need to, reread it, or if you have trouble with some of the words, have somebody in your house that can help you with the more difficult words. Or just rewind it and listen to me read it again, right? All right, so that's today's science. Good work. Moving along, go ahead and grab your cursive sheet, and we're going to read a little more of Jack Sparrow. All right. So we're on the last chapter. We're going to stretch this chapter out 3 days, so it's going to be a short read today. I'll read slow. Chapter 12. The driving wind and rain grew worse as the crew of the Barnacle ran through the palace. It beat down on them through the porous roof. They've gotten a good head start on the torrents, but for every 2 steps they took, the giant only needed 1, and he was gaining on him. When they came to the hall with the carved stone floor and the pit hidden underneath, Jack, Fitzwilliam, and Tuman skidded to a halt, barely stopping in time. Ooh, I forgot that beach thing. Ugh. If Kaylee was here, she would have reminded me. Alright, there we go. The trapdoors had closed again, but they all knew what lay beneath them. There's no way we can bring the chest, Jack, Fitzwilliam shouted. We'll have to leave it behind. We'll never be able to walk the ledges with it. We are not going anywhere without the treasure, Jack shouted back. Torrance came around the far corner, a murderous look on his face. Captain Torrance. No, look! Arabella tapped on the floor with the golden scepter she was carrying. The traps only work if you're trying to get in, not out. Come on, let's go. They picked up the chest and continued running. Torrance was at the far end of the room, and before the crew left the palace, Jack ran back across the floor. Jack! Arabella called out as the trap opened once more. Jack nimbly leapt back onto the ledge to rejoin his friends before the trap fully opened. Good luck getting around those narrow ledges, mate, Jack